Remember Matthew Miller, the State Department spokesperson in the Joe Biden administration? His conduct all through the Gaza conflict was despicable to say the least. He routinely defended Israel's war crimes and never missed an opportunity to protect war criminal Netanyahu and his medieval gang members. He did not shy away from shamelessly rejecting terms such as genocide and war crimes to describe Israeli atrocities in Gaza. He was so evil that even when Israel used American bombs, to burn children alive in Rafah, he blamed a shrapnel, which according to him had traveled a distance of more than a kilometer to cause the tent to burn and kill hundreds of innocent people, including children and babies. Guess what? He now says that what Israel is doing in Gaza amounts to war crimes. I'm not making it up. I'm going to play the clip for you shortly. He said this to Sky News in an interview. He makes a few important assertions, and that you must not lose sight on. First, he says that the reason he did not call out Israel for its war crimes during his time as the spokesperson of the State Department was because he had to toe the line taken by the Biden administration, even though he felt otherwise. Now, this is big because he's effectively saying that the Biden administration was complicit or active participant in the genocide of Palestinians by Israel. This is exactly what he's saying. He was no ordinary member of the government. He was the face of the State Department. He was the face of America's foreign policy. He was the second most influential person after Antony Blinken in the State Department. And he's saying that he's gone on record, and I'm going to play that video for you. He's saying that he felt otherwise, but he had to toe the Biden administration's line. He then sheds crocodile tears by questioning Israel's claim as a democracy. This is also big because he is the same man who fiercely defended Israel as a thriving and perhaps, according to them, the only democracy in the Middle East. But now he raises questions even on that very claim. Anyway, watch this clip for yourselves.
Do you think what's going on in Gaza now is a genocide?
I don't think it's a genocide, but I think I think it is without a doubt true that Israel has committed war crimes.
You wouldn't have said that at the podium.
Yeah, look, because when you're at the podium, you're not expressing your personal opinion. You're expressing the conclusions of the United States government. The United States government had not concluded that they've committed war crimes, still have not concluded that.
But your personal view is they have.
And
they were while you were there.
But yes. But here, let me qualify that. There are two ways to think about the commission of war crimes. One is if the state has pursued a policy to deliberately committing war crimes or is acting reckless in a way that aids and abets war crimes. If the state is committing war crimes, and that I think is an open question. I think what is almost certainly not an open question is that there have been individual incidents that have been war crimes where Israeli soldiers, members of the Israeli military, have committed war crimes. And we do know that Israel has opened investigations, but look, we are many months into those investigations and we're not seeing Israeli soldiers held accountable. So ultimately, in almost every major conflict, including conflicts prosecuted by democracies, you will see individual members of the militaries commit war crimes. And the way you judge a democracy is whether they hold those people accountable.
But Israel hasn't.
That's my point,
right.
Is we have not yet seen them hold sufficient numbers of the military accountable, and I think it's an open question whether they're going to.
I don't know what has prompted him to have this change of heart, because I do not think he's anything but an evil man. The reason for this spectacular U-turn in his stand could be the fear of future prosecution at The Hague. You may call me harsh, but I have not forgotten his abominable utterances, even when Israel slaughtered Palestinian children and babies using American bombs. He blamed Hamas, even when he was reminded by reporters that it was a one-way bloodshed caused by Israel's genocidal maniacs.
Said, go ahead.
Thank you. You don't have any doubt that only one side did the shooting and the killing and the shelling and so on of these people, correct?
Said, I have seen reports I have seen different reports with respect to that very question.
Right.
We don't know, as I said earlier, the ground truth of what happened, which is why we think it's appropriate that investigation be conducted.
So you think that there were other people shooting Palestinians?
Said, I said I have seen reports that other people were shooting. I don't know the veracity of any of those reports, which is why we're seeking more information.
And you expect to get any results from these investigations, these reports? Will you come back to us next week and tell us this is?
I can't promise you next week because I don't know how long an investigation will take. But certainly, hold on. Certainly, when an investigation is completed and we're briefed on that investigation, I'm happy to come brief you on that. Said, if you listened to what I said a moment ago, hold on. Said, please don't interrupt me.
Yeah.
I said far too many Palestinians have died. Thousands of Palestinian children have died, and it is a tragedy when one of them dies. Of course, we don't want to see a single child die. We don't want to see anyone die as a result of this conflict, which is why we have been working to bring this conflict to a close as soon as possible. But whenever you ask me these questions, I do think you continue to kind of just elide over the fact that Hamas bears a great deal of responsibility for putting those children in harm's way. Remember, it was Hamas that launched this war in the first place with an attack on Israel that killed men, women, and children, and that Hamas that hid and continues to hide behind children as human shields.
When a reporter from Grey Zone website told him the bitter truth about his support for the genocide being committed by Israel, he had advised the reporter to go somewhere else in the Washington, D.C. and carry on with his lecture. This Matthew Miller chap was so arrogant that he simply could not care about the massacres of Palestinian children by Israelis.
This administration has financed a genocide in Gaza for the last year, and every day you're up there denying accountability for it. So, I mean, what gives you the right to lecture other countries on their moral?
So if you have a policy question for me, I'm happy to take it. If you want to give a speech, there are plenty of places in Washington where you can give a speech.
Yeah, but people are sick of the bullshit in here. I mean, it is a genocide.
You
are abetting it, and you are risking nuclear war in Ukraine for this proxy war.
Plenty of other places to give a speech. Go ahead.
This video would run into hours if I were to reproduce all his utterances from the State Department podium in justification of Israeli war crimes. But you can watch all those videos on our channel because we were resolute, steadfast in documenting his questionable conduct. And it sits there on our YouTube channel. Now he wants to get away by simply laying the blame on his former bosses, i.e. Joe Biden and Antony Blinken. But he must not be allowed to use this escape route. He should remember that the excuse that he was simply following his boss's orders isn't going to protect him from future indictments at the ICC. He had the option to resign, just like many upright members in the State Department did when they felt enough was enough. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for your support of this platform and our journalism on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you too think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. Details are there in the description of this video. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.